Hey Frackers, it's Wednesday, and this week's topic is my weirdest dream. And this is hard because I really never remember my dreams. Like, I don't even know if I dream at all. Like, I do, but like I don't remember it. But conveniently enough, last night's dream was quite strange, so I'm going to describe what I remember of it to you. So basically, I was at the doctor's office getting a blood test done, and I was freaking out because I hate needles, like, a lot. And then they went to, draw my blood, and they gave me, a lollipop, which wasn't weird. But then, when I opened the lollipop, it, started growing, and then I had a giant lollipop, so naturally I was happy. And then the doctor, took out a chainsaw. And I was like, whoa, what are you going to do with that chainsaw? And then I don't remember what happened after that. I just freaked out, and I started running out with my giant lollipop. And then the lollipop kept, getting bigger, so I couldn't run with it. So I eventually had to put it down and, leave it. And I was sad about that. Oh, phone. Twitter, naturally. I then was, having a freak out session because I was running from somebody who had a chainsaw. Wow, that just threw me off. And then, it was the Super Bowl for some reason. I don't know why it was the Super Bowl, but people were watching it, except they were watching it, and I somehow ended up at the mall where people were watching the Super Bowl. And it was bizarre because no one really watches the Super Bowl at the mall. So I was at the mall, and then all of a sudden, the director of my musical runs up to me and she goes, "Why are you here? You should be at school." And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because we have a performance tonight." And I was just like, "No, we don't." But apparently we did, even though I thought that I was done, but I wasn't, because I was just told we have a performance tonight. So then I was like, okay, I'm down with that. And then I go to my auditorium and it's green. It's not green, but in my dream it was green. It was pastel green, and it had polka dots. And it was bizarre. And I was like, this is not where I go to school. And then my dad comes running in, and he's like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Because I have a show tonight." And he's like, "No, you have to be at the Gap, and we have to go buy pants." And I'm like, "No, we don't have to buy pants. I have pants." And then, he ended up dragging me to the Gap anyway, and I thought I was going to get in so much trouble, and then I ended up back at the auditorium, and I was still, fine, on time. And then I went to put my costume on, and it was not my costume. It was, some, wonderful number with, a top hat and, a tailcoat, and I was just like, that's not my costume. And she's like, "Oh, yes, it is. This is what you've been performing." And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And so then I put that costume on, and one of my big beefy friends, I'm not going to say his name because I think he might get creeped out that I had a dream about him, but yeah, and he came out and he was wearing a Barney suit, and I was just like, "Hey," and he was like, "Hey," and he had a giant lollipop. So I had a dream about giant lollipops and chainsaws, and then I ended up at musical, and it was not normal. I'm sure I've had stranger dreams, but this was up there. And yeah, so that was actually pretty lame, but it's the best I could give you. I'm sorry. Bye, Frackers, and I'll see you tomorrow.